Mr. Wilfred Yap. He is the Chairman of Public Complaints Bureau Chief of SUPP, also Kota Sentosa Chairman, SUPP. Mr. Wilfred Yap, thank you. Welcome to Spot On.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Lately there is this issues, a lot of issues coming up, especially with MCO, CMCO, and you as a person in charge of public complaints. What are those issues that people come to you and that really struck you, and also that you can help the people?
Well, the issues that the SUPP Public Complaints Bureau handle, basically they are the same. And you would always have this idea or think that once the problem is solved and then the message gets across, problems like this will not arise. But unfortunately, problems that arise continuously arise. Even after you assist one, there is always down the road another similar kind of problem. And I think over the past years, I've been doing this since 2014, and I would release a press release every week. And I've been very consistent in doing that. And basically it talks about education of the public. So if you were to follow me, and if you have been following me since 2014, the first time that I was tasked with actually heading this Public Complaints Bureau, I've always tried to make it an educational process. Because there is just so many people we can help with the limited time that we have. So education is always the key. So basically what we would do is we would assist one, and then we would tell the public the problems that this particular person that we have assisted faced, how we assist him, and hopefully another person facing that kind of similar issue would not get themselves into that kind of problem because they have that knowledge.
Can you share with us some of these specific issues that you have?
Okay, we have handled a lot of issues, Along issues. And we keep telling the public that no matter how bad you are in debt or facing issues, financial issues, you should never go and see an Along.
Who should they?
Okay, the cases that we have done, obviously we try to assist them. Right. And as far as the public is concerned, we always tell them that if you have issues with the bank, financial issues with the bank, the first person you need to ask for assistance is AKPK, which is our agency, Bank Negara's agency for counseling, whereby they will counsel these people having financial issues with the banks. And AKPK would then contact the bank on behalf of this particular person and try to work out the win-win situation for them. Perhaps if their income has dropped, then the AKPK would basically rearrange, restructure, ask the bank to restructure payment of a lower amount, or restructure the loan on their behalf so that they're able to actually fulfill the commitments, that kind of thing. And where Alongs are concerned, whereby if it is too much already, whereby they go and break up their houses, splash tents, threaten this particular poor debtor or whatever, then basically we would also ask them to go to the police, lodge a proper police report, and then make sure that the police actually assist this particular person to...
Mr. Wilfred, how bad is this Along situation?
It is not really that bad, but once in a while we do get this kind of cases whereby they come for assistance, and we try our very best to assist them through education.
How about other issues that that it's dear to the heart of people that you deal with?
I do not know which one you mean, but because the people that actually come and see me I'm always the last resort. They would have gone to see a lot of people already, and a lot of people would not have been able to assist them. And I'm always the last resort. Now, one of the examples is, there is this woman. She actually used jalan tikus, to go over to Indonesia, Kalimantan border to do
She's Indonesian?
No, she's actually local, Malaysian. And she's Sarawakian. She lives in somewhere around BDC area. I cannot give you the specific address.
Right.
And then the auntie came to see me and asked for assistance, because by the time the auntie and the brother came to see me in SUPP, she was already caught in Indonesia. So when she came for assistance, because she wanted to come back here, but she was caught, and then the Indonesian wanted to charge her, bring her to court and all that kind of thing. So on our part, SUPP Public Complaints Bureau, I contacted the Malaysian consulate in Pontianak. And the people, our Malaysian consulate is number one in Pontianak. And they assisted, you know, they got a lawyer, an Indonesian lawyer, and then they assisted with getting the lawyer in touch with this particular woman. And then they communicated with me over the phone, and then the Indonesian lawyer that they actually appointed came over to our SUPP Public Complaints Bureau, and I met up, you know. And then obviously there are fees involved and all that. So that was the part of the process. But after all those things were done, the Indonesian lawyer actually assisted and managed to get this particular woman released. So if you go through back to my stories, I think Dayak Daily also reported on it, and a lot of the newspapers, whereby the process where she first came up to the point where she was released. You know?
Mr. Wilfred, you said you might owe sometimes the last resort kind of thing. How many percent of success and how many percent of failure when people seek your help?
Okay, if you ask me, the ones that I release to the press, you know, all those are success cases.
Yeah, of course.
But those that I find very, very difficult, because you see, people who come and see me, they don't tell me the truth all the time. So sometimes along the way, I find out that the things that people tell me might not be actually what it is.
So actually a complicated case.
Yeah. I think recently there was also people hitting me, you know, using through Facebook and all that, saying that I didn't do enough to assist. But if you actually were to delve deep into it, you know, there's just so much that we can do. For example, if a person has already gone to court, and then he has already lost the case in court,
right?
And then he engages another lawyer, he goes on appeal, and he has already lost the case at the appeal stage. And then he comes and see me for assistance, when I was not even the lawyer for the preliminary stage in the High Court stage, or in the Court of Appeal stage, or in the Magistrate Court stage, and then appeal to the High Court stage. So if the thing is already res judicata, okay, in lawyers' term, we call it res judicata, there is nothing much we can do, because you know, no matter how much I want to help you, the thing is already res judicata, is already settled.
Wilfred, you are also chairman of SUPP Kota Sentosa. What are the issues that are affecting the people there? Especially, I think, one of the biggest challenges is the flyover. How do you see it? I mean,
obviously the flyover is progressing. I mean, in my own words, it's too slow. It could have been speeded up. But then there are also issues, because there were the change of government, and then they had to get rid of the project managers and all that. So I think a lot of the construction works were actually slowed down. But could be better, you know, could be better. And obviously the people in the area are suffering because of the inconveniences that they're actually put through. So I think about 3 weeks ago, our Minister of Transport, YB Lee Kim Shin, went down to actually have a look at the whole area and try to come up with some remedial action.
Yeah. So Wilfred, maybe you add some more about, you know, what need to be done to improve the social economy of the people of Kota Sentosa, because it has been under opposition for the last 15 years, if I'm not mistaken.
I would look at it beyond Kota Sentosa, because I think the issue that we're going to be dealing with, basically it transcends all electoral boundaries. So the kind of things that I think every person should be looking forward to, or the people, Sarawakian people should be looking forward to, would be policies that are fair to everybody. And you ask me, what are the kind of policies that are fair? I think social justice policies, basically whereby you look at human welfare, and human welfare through social justice, from the angle of social justice. And basically, what do we mean by that? We mean that everybody hopefully the new government or a government, existing government or whoever is elected, will come up with social justice policies whereby everybody is given equal opportunity, whether you're rich or poor or from whatever religion, race, creed or whatever. That means at the initial stage, when a baby is born, up to the point of employment, where he first seeks employment, policies would be fair to all these people. Equal opportunities would be given to them. Equal opportunities, access to education, regardless of race or religion. Then after that point, then if you are going to have certain other policies to cater for different standards of needs or whatever, then basically we can actually relook at the whole thing. But as far as education is concerned, I hope that the government would actually relook at the whole thing and give this kind of equal opportunities to everybody.
Do you still see that there is weakness in this kind of policies currently?
If you actually look at the whole thing, I think certain communities still feel that they are disadvantaged, when it comes to getting employment, you see, because in certain sectors, whereby even if you look at our civil service, current civil service, the ratio.
So a lot of it can be further improved.
Yes, it can be further improved, and I think that these are things that any government should be looking into. And what I'm saying is it transcends race and it transcends religion. I'm sure there are certain Bumiputra communities who also feel that they are disadvantaged as far as securing civil service jobs are concerned, as far as promotion are concerned.
So you're talking about both state and federal level?
Yes. So these are things that perhaps, if I'm given the opportunity, these are things that I will try to raise, And obviously, I also believe that, as far as manifestos and as far as promises are concerned, made by political parties, whatever they are, I think political parties should be responsible enough to put up promises in their manifesto on things that they can fulfill.
Doable kind of manifestos, right?
Yes, rather than just
achievable,
achievable kind of.
For the coming state election, say for instance you are fielded, how do you see your chances in Kota Sentosa?
It is up to the voters. I think the voters will have to make the assessment on whether this particular person, put up, has he been doing his work over the years? Is he just a fly-by-night thing? Does he believe in money politics? Is he easily swayed by promises? So hopefully they will be able to make a right decision by assessing a person, over the whole range, over the time that he has been in politics, what he has done over that period of time, and whether he means what he says. That kind of.
Wilfred, for the record, how long have you been involved in politics, active politics?
I think since 2006.
And how many times have you been given a chance to contest?
I've been given, I was nominated in 2012, but last minute another person was actually asked to contest in 2013 elections. I was the Secretary General of SUPP Youth at that particular point in time. And then I was given the opportunity in 2016 to contest against YB Chongchenjen. In the N12 Kota Sentosa. And I'm very thankful to to Tok Nan at that particular time for giving me that particular opportunity to contest. Yes.
All right. So let's hope for the best in coming state election.
Yes. Yeah. If given the opportunity, obviously I hope to be able to better the results from the previous elections whereby I lost to YB Chongchenjen, the Pakatan Harapan chairman, and the DAP chairman by 2,819 votes.
Mr. Wilfred, last but not least, I think everywhere there is or are issues affecting them. Do you have any message that how do you plan to help them out?
If you look at Kota Sentosa, right? Kota Sentosa is actually a very kind of unique kind of constituency. We have rich neighborhoods within Kota Sentosa, and we have the very, very poor neighborhoods. So you ask me, what are the rich neighborhoods? The rich neighborhoods are the neighborhoods of Green Heights, Richmond Hill. That's where all the rich people are. Or the upper middle class. Yeah. And then the Jalan Song, depending on which side, Jalan Song from Jalan Song onwards, okay, that is under Kota Sentosa, Jalan Kempas, BDC, and then you get to Richmond Hill, Green Heights, and then Saradise. You see, those are very high-end commercial areas, and those are very high-end residential areas, middle-class area. Then you got the very poor ones, like Stamp-in Resettlement Scheme. That's a very poor area. The drainage is still very, very not desirable, actually, because it is still earth drains and a lot can be done. So my advice to the people of Kota Sentosa is that perhaps it is time we reassess what we need in a representative of the area. That's all. And whether the person that we actually support or vote for will be able to fulfill the needs of Kota Sentosa. Not through words, but through action.
Have they not seen enough in the last, 10, 15 years under this particular YB?
I think the best person to actually answer all this would be the voters themselves. That is why I just said that, the voters should actually reassess what they want. And then reassess that perhaps, it is time that certain changes are made, certain support changes are made, so that the whole area can be lifted, the economy, the socio-economic things can be lifted to a standard or catching up with the rest of the other constituencies, other urban constituencies. And I hope that the people, the voters in the rich neighborhoods, the middle-class voters, would look beyond those things, would be more prihatin in Bahasa Malaysia. I think I would use the word more caring, and consider the Kota Sentosa as a whole, the Kota Sentosa as a whole, and then perhaps assist all these other poorer areas, so that by putting a vote, and then hopefully through that the new representative from wherever he may be will be able to assist areas, or these areas which are lacking. That's basically it.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Wilfred.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.